Welcome guys to a new YouTube video. In this video we will basically do the same and basically go over a previous price move that happens that we can basically break down with the concepts that we teach in our private community. All right, so this was a move that we was mapping out for our members, and eventually few traders use that to basically make some nice profits off the markets. Right, so we won't go too much in detail, so this video doesn't go for too long. We already have done one video that goes very in depth from the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour. Okay, so you can take a look at that. It's basically how you can analyze one single monthly candle to obtain a pretty big price move. All right, so we already have done that. So in this video we will go over much more of basically concepts that are a bit more based on the 4 hour, and then we will go on the 50-minute to basically show ways where you could potentially enter. All right, so before starting, okay, so before showing the actual trade, we will go over analyzing this 4 hour structure, price structure, and basically thinking how we could map out our trades. So the specific trade or region that we will basically analyze in this video is this specific region right here. Okay, this is a very interesting region that we have seen along the order flow to the downside. Okay, so basically this was the first reaction to the monthly time frame. As you can see here, this was very big, and then we had a second one here. Okay, so basically history sometimes can give us some information on how we could basically react at certain price levels. Okay, that's very important. So this was the last video that we did. Okay, we analyzed from the monthly down to the 4 hour, okay, and 50-minute entries, etc. So you can take a look at that as well. Okay, so here we have seen the market creating new lows. Okay, so basically forming the classic lower highs and lower lows formations for basically what we all get taught in a basic trends recognition. Okay, so what we have seen, this initial push right here is showing some very strong bearish signs. Okay, and this was already good because we could eventually start shorting when price. Before continuing with the video, if you are interested about learning our full strategies, scalping and swing trading, then we have a special offer for you guys. So scroll down in the description and click the link, and if you are interested, you can join our full service for a small monthly fee. All right, so you will learn all these things and eventually get the same results as our students. Okay, so everything is included: scalping strategy course, swing trading course, daily analysis and trade setups, weekly analysis, trading psychology videos, and 24/7 support. So if you are interested in this service, click the link below and see you on the other side. Price comes back into this range right here, which was basically explained in the last video, or one of the last videos we did. Price came into a previous region where we have seen a lot of buying happening, show some reaction, and then continues to print new lows. And what you see here, see price basically breaking new levels, creating lower highs, etc. Okay, so what we really want to take a look at is this last impulsive movement down. Okay, and as we can see, the last impulsive movement down has created a pretty significant break of structure here. So you can see here we have broken these major lows right here. Okay, so all these lows were broken, and this whole move is pretty big. All right, so we have over 800 pips of movement just from here. Okay, so if you zoom in, you will see that eventually we have a lot of supply and demand zones. So you could have said this is a zone, and this is another zone. Okay, so what do we use? We use the one that matters most right now for price. Okay, and we really analyze where the structure was broken. Okay, so the last structure break happened from this range right here. So you can see this reaction comes from this. Okay, we have seen the leg down here coming from this point. Okay, what you can use if sometimes you are a bit in doubt on how to draw the zone, you can basically apply the volume 2 on that whole move and eventually see where you want to draw your zone from. All right, this is also a good way of approaching it. So once price has broken this level right here, we are already looking for potential shorts if it should come back into this zone. Okay, so what do we see? Price comes here, fails to break lower, and creates this new bullish structure. Okay, so we see here new bullish structure, breaking structure points. What we can see here, if we zoom a bit more in, all right, so let us zoom a bit more in here. What we can see is that price has broken market structure to the upside here in this case. All right, so we have here a minor structural break. So this zone is not as strong as this one, but we could still use it to eventually set our targets, okay, or eventually enter new trades. And this is something for another video, but basically we have here the less aggressive range here. Okay, of course this would be also a level where you could target to, but we will keep this simple for this range. Of course you can also trade your stop, take profits along the way, so these are multiple things that you can do, but we will focus just basically on this zone and this entry that could have happened at this range right here. Okay, so very, very nice movement we can see here already, but we could already pre-planned it, okay, because we have broken major lows here at this point. So this is a valid area for potential shorts. Okay, so all we want to do is, since we have seen some big banks, whoever is controlling the market at this point here, executing orders to the downside, we want to go with them. Okay, so price comes back deep into the zone. Okay, and this is where we will analyze it. Okay, this is where we will look on how the ways of potential entry were. So let us zoom here back into when price came into the zone. Okay, so we have seen here now, this is the more refined 50-minute level. This is something that we can talk in the future, but for now what we want to see is basically this reaction right here. Okay, so this is where we want to be looking for potential entry points. All right, so price came into the zone very, very aggressively, and then we saw it started pausing. Okay, when we see it pausing like that, okay, even though it's the first high, okay, we usually trade the second high into the zone. It's the best that you can get. You could have still shorted this here. Okay, this would be a valid entry point, but this valid entry point will eventually get stopped out break even because of our rules. Okay, but what do you see here is price basically taking out these highs, okay, and coming deeper. Okay, so basically deeper into the zone, into a very sweet spot range that we like to look for. Okay, so price comes into that and we see some potential entry opportunities. If you have entered here, okay, you can put a reasonable stop, 25 pips, 30 pips, whatever you would like, okay, and then set a target. Okay, since this is a very strong area, you could set a target at this point right here. Of course, this doesn't mean that you don't take profits along the way. Okay, this is a big thing that you have to think about as well. Okay, but that's about your plan. But what we can see here is price eventually have broken structure here, but it came back to take us out break even. Okay, if you didn't have profits yet, no problem, but what you have to see here is that eventually you have here a new range that could get protected, since we have seen price breaking the low here again. Okay, what we want to do is Finum entry signal. Okay, these are all potential entry signals. Okay, so you could have entered here again. This would be a valid point to entry. This will be a valid point to entry. This would be a valid point to entry. So multiple entry signals. And where do you want to target it to? As well, the next range here. Okay, so either way, if you know the concepts, if you know how to reprice, you could still enter it at this range right here. Okay, this would be a valid trade. Maybe you have to break-even trades before, but at the end, who cares if you have a big trade at the end like this? Okay. Of course, there are multiple other ways that you can basically apply break and retest patterns here. Okay, so if you don't catch that, etc., etc., relay entries as the range was pretty big, at least till this point. So this would be all valid ways to enter. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next video.